good. I was gonna say, we don't need one more thing. Can you call in? And he's
You're live.
he's volleyballing. Did you find out who made the motions? Okay.
Good evening and welcome to Summers County School Board regular meeting. It is 6 p.m. It is Thursday, November the 12th. This is a regular meeting. At this time, the roll call, let the minutes reflect that all members are present. Mr. Brogan is absent from the meeting. At this time, I would ask Mr. Angel if you would do our invocation, pledge of allegiance, please.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for the opportunity you've given us to gather here tonight. Dear Heavenly Father, we especially want to remember our volleyball girls, our students, and our teachers and service personnel. Dear Heavenly Father, we ask you to keep each one of them safe, watch over them, and protect them. Dear Heavenly Father, we also want to say a special prayer tonight for the ones that are recovering from COVID and the ones that are in the hospitals and those that are at home. We ask you to be with each one of those and those that have lost loved ones, dear Heavenly Father. We ask you to be with the families there. We ask now that you be with us as we continue in this board meeting tonight. Guide and direct us. Decisions we make will be the best for the Summers County students and Summers County personnel. These things we ask in Jesus' name. Amen. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we go to item 3, on behalf of the board, we would like to congratulate the Summers County volleyball staff and all the players for the fine representation of Summers County in Charleston the last 2 days. And there's a lot to be said for that. And I know so many of those kids, and I know how hard they work. And so we want to extend our appreciation to that. I don't know if you would like to recognize them formally at some time when that's possible, Mr. Warble.
Okay.
And Mr. Warble, you were there. Would you like to make any comments about our student athletes in volleyball?
They did exactly how most people are coached. The name on the front, where you're from, it's more important than the name on your back. And the girls represented this county well, and the coach represented this county well with good sportsmanship. And after we won the first round with Greenbrier West, you saw the girls, clap and congratulate them, and it was cool because West got beat by us, but they congratulated us. It was great sportsmanship. And then we went into the next game, and we went up against a buzzsaw. This is the reigning state champs of Wirt County, and we did a really good job. We won the first game, and then the second game, I think we were just getting tired. We were getting fatigued, and let's be honest, that team was pretty good. And it's okay to get beat by a team that's better than you. And if they're also a state reigning champ, that's not bad to say you got beat by a reigning champ. So they did really well. They did real well.
Again, congratulations to them all. They finished in the final 4, top 4 in the state, and that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Having said that, we're at item 3, approval of agenda and adjustments. And I move that item 12A be tabled until the first regular meeting of December. That's a motion. May I have a second?
I'll second.
There's a motion on the floor of the chair, seconded by Mr. Angel, that we table item 12A, Mr. Warble, until the first regular meeting of December. Okay? Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstained. Let the minutes reflect 4-0 vote in affirmative. Item 12A is tabled. Moving down, let's go to service personnel. The superintendent had a recommendation for us on buses 151, 156, 150, and 152. I move that those 4 items be tabled until the first regular meeting of December.
I'll second that.
Motion on the floor by the chair, second by Mr. Angel. bus 151, 156, 150, 152, that those considerations be tabled until the first regular meeting of December. Mr. Wargle, as part of the discussion, do you have any comments you want to make on that?
Just that there was a situation that when we hired someone else the last board meeting, in the job description, there was and keep their bus route. And if we would approve this tonight, that would have given someone else that same job. And then there's a chain reaction or a domino reaction. And we want to make sure we get the service personnel right. And instead of making a mistake, we'll just hold off and get it right next month and just hold off on that.
Is there any other discussion by any other members regarding this motion? If not, then I'll call the vote on the question. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstaining, and the chair votes aye. So let the minutes reflect before a vote that will table the aforementioned items of the service personnel. I'd like to go back now to item 10, approval of bills. And I move that we pull out James and Law and McGraw-Hill bills that they be considered separately.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion on the floor by the chair and seconded by Mr. Angel that we pull out of the bills item 10, James and Law bills and McGraw-Hill bills. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstaining. As minutes reflect before a vote, we are pulling those out for separate consideration. Now, having ran my mouth long enough, is there any other adjustments anyone would like to make?
I just have one.
Okay.
Just so everybody knows, when you flip to the second page where it says employment service personnel, down
Yes.
there where it says bus operator, the curricular run to Pipestem State Park and Bluestone, both of those funding sources are IDEA. That's out of the special ed funding source, not Reclaim West Virginia. So that should be IDEA from the special ed department. That's the funding source.
Okay. I think with your correction, I don't think we need a motion or anything on that.
No, I just want to be, I want everybody to know
Just
what's
make
going
sure
on.
we have that in minutes.
Yep.
Did everyone hear that? Okay, very well. Any other things that anybody would like to adjust in the agenda? If not, the chair moves that this board approve the agenda subject to the previous tabled items and bills pulled out.
I'll second.
Motion on the floor of the chair, seconded by Vice President Farley, that the board approve the agenda as presented to us by the superintendent, subject to the tabled items that were passed and also the pulling out of bills. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstaining? Let the minutes reflect that before a vote in affirmative, this board has approved the agenda along with the adjustments made by motions. Having reached that point, we're at public comment, and Mr. Persinger, I think you have the floor, and welcome, and thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for letting me be here today to talk to y'all about the free online tutoring made available by the Summers County Public Library. You know, during the best of times, helping a child with homework can be a real nightmare, especially if you don't really remember how to multiply fractions. So we recognize that this may be the most challenging year for students, teachers, parents, staff, and administration. And the lack of in-person education has been really stressful for everybody, which makes homework especially tense. That's why we purchased the subscription to tutor.com. We want to help alleviate some of that homework stress and frustration and contribute to your students' academic success. Tutor.com has free live one-on-one online tutoring in over 40 K-12 subjects. Tutors are available from 2 to 9 p.m. every day, and you can submit papers for review, take SAT, ACT prep tests, or grad school prep tests at any time. You can also take subject quizzes at any time. And best of all, it is free with your library card. The easiest way to access the service is by going to our website, summers.lib.wv.us. And once you're there, you want to click on this little banner, which will take you to the tutor.com homepage. All you have to do is enter your library card number, and it will ask you to create an account. It's pretty simple to do. The user interface is really intuitive, and if you visit when they're open, this close sign will be replaced with some options for subject and grade levels that you want to reach a tutor to talk to. So far we've had a really enthusiastic response from the people who have used it. It seems to be helping them out. Kids are logging on pretty much daily to ask questions to the tutors. It's really easy to bookmark the page when you get there so that it's easy to find it later when you need homework help. The good news is that most Summers County students already have Summers County Public Library cards. If they're not patrons already, signing up is quick and easy, and it's free. And if you can't find your library card number, or you need a new card, or you just need to become a patron, you can call us or stop by the library with our phone number. We're there Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You can also email us, message us on Facebook. We're pretty easy to find. While you're there at our website, you can sign up for our newsletter to keep up to date with activities, new books, etc. that we've got going on at the library. And before I go, I want to quickly plug West Virginia Reads. That's our digital library. It is open 24/7, and it has thousands of books for all ages. If your student misses getting on to the bookmobile and choosing books to read, they're going to love West Virginia Reads. It's great for adults as well. There's awesome audio books. It's really cool if you like to run or walk, or if you commute to work or school, or you just like to unwind with a good story. If y'all need any more information, you can call or stop by, send us a message, and I thank you all for your time.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Persinger, thank you for this proactive thing. This is certainly very beneficial, and I appreciate you taking the time to do that. Let me ask, Superintendent Wardle, Mr. Persinger, is there anything that, as a school system, we can do to help advertise this or augment it, or is it pretty well out there? Is there anything we need to do?
I'll let you go first.
The teachers have been really good about sharing the information. They've been posting flyers down, particularly at the high school, where I think it's got the most benefit of high school and middle school students, especially in those math subject areas that people tend to struggle with anyway.
So you agree that word's getting out?
I've seen it on Facebook several times.
great.
And shared a lot.
Yeah,
I
it
share
gets
it
shared a
myself.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to come here to get it. You know, you guys have a lot of people tune into these meetings. So get the
Well,
word
that's
out.
good, get the word out. Listen, we appreciate it. We
Well,
welcome you.
thank
Come
you.
back.
I
Thank you
really
very much.
appreciate you all and everything you're doing. All right, you're welcome.
How's the air conditioner work on the bookmobile this year?
It's working now.
Good job, Brian.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
That is, it is.
That now brings us to item 5, presentations.
I do not have any presentations unless my communications has anything. We're good?
All right.
And you're good, Chris? All right, I guess we don't have any special presentations tonight.
Degrees in November.
Item 6, we have approval of minutes from the October 22nd regular meeting, the October 29th special meeting at Summers County High School, as well as the minutes from October 29th special meeting at Summers Middle School. The chair would move that we approve those minutes as presented to us by the superintendent and staff.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by the chair, seconded by Mr. McBride, that this board approve minutes.
One thing, there was.
What discussion do we have?
Well, there was a slight omission. Nothing was wrong. It was just an omission. on the minutes for 10/22. Warren and I have discussed it, and as soon as that is added, those will be complete. We're gonna have to view the video.
And which one was it?
October 22nd.
October 22nd?
Yeah.
Okay. I apologize for not acknowledging that. The chair would withdraw that motion at this time. Any problems with any of the minutes on the October 29th board minutes for special meeting at Summers County High School and Middle School? No problems there?
Not that I said.
Well, let's get those two out of the way then. Chair moves we approve October 29th special meeting at Summers County High School and Summers Middle School.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion on the floor of the chair, seconded by Mrs. Farley, that this board approve the minutes as presented to us by the superintendent for October 29th special meeting at Summers County High School and special meeting at Summers Middle School, same day. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstaining. Let the minutes reflect the 4 vote in the affirmative. This board has approved the minutes presented to us for October 29th, special meeting Summers County High School and special meeting Summers Middle School. Okay, having done that, now we're at October 22nd, the regular meeting, and there is something that needs to be corrected there. Do you want to motion that we take that up at the next meeting?
Well, I was gonna say, I make a motion, we approve those minutes pending, an adjustment to section 3 of them. Would that be?
As long as that's been communicated, I think everybody will second that.
Second.
Okay. There's a motion on the floor by Mrs. Farley, second by Mr. Angel, that this board approve the minutes for October 22nd, 2020, Summers County Board regular meeting, subject to the corrections that have been communicated to the central office staff. Is that correct? Okay, any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye, opposed, abstaining. Let the minutes reflect, subject to the correction, October 22nd board minutes have been approved. 4 of them. Okay, we have a video at this time for student success stories, and I understand this video is from Talkit.
Yep.
And so at this time, we'll play that.
Mr. Duncan, let's do this right. We're gonna try to get the volume set.
Okay, that'd be fine. You want to reset it?
Yeah, I know it's hard for me to hear, let alone people out there in virtual
That'll be
world.
fine. We'll take a pause here for a moment till we get the audio up on this presentation from Talkit Elementary, and we'll start back at the beginning and we'll play that through.
Hey Ken, we're all here for you right now.
Don't feel any pressure at all. You'll never catch me chastising somebody for messing up technology.
Oh.
Because
No doubt about that.
Jackie's over laughing because she knows, don't she?
You never have that problem at the movie theater, do you?
Ms. Farley, little did you know I'm pushing to be vice president, I know you got my back when it comes to technology. Okay, we ready to try it again? Okay. Learning to be leaders, being able to speak in public is certainly one of those necessary first steps.
Yeah.
And that was very good, getting in front of a camera and speaking. Those kids would be congratulated. And Superintendent Warble, on behalf of the board, would you please extend our appreciation for that initiative to Superintendent Rhodes, it's not Superintendent Rhodes, but Principal Rhodes.
Yep.
And to all of her staff and to those children.
Yep.
Thank you so much. Instructional initiatives?
The next two, we don't have anything at this point in time. And it's really not community volunteerism, but I think later when I do my presentation, I'll probably yield to Dr. Knott because she wants to do a shout out to some people that have been huge in our school system. And I'll hold off on that one later.
Okay, that'll be fine. We are now at, no community volunteerism, we're now at approval of bills. We're pulling out, as per our motion, any bills from James and Law and McGraw Hill. Excluding those bills, the chair moves that we approve the bills as presented us to by Mr. Warble and his staff.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor of the chair, second by Mr. McBride, that this board approve the bills presented to us by superintendent and staff, exclusive of the James and Law McGraw-Hill bills. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained. Let the minutes reflect that the bills were approved, exclusive of James Law McGraw-Hill, by 4 vote affirmative. At this time, we will consider, the board will consider, bills to be paid to James and Law McGraw-Hill. The chair abstains due to the conflict of interest.
I make a motion. I make a motion to pay James and Law McGraw-Hill.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor by Mrs. Farley, second by Mr. McBride, that this board pay the bill to James and Law McGraw-Hill. Is there any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Chair abstains. So let the minutes reflect that by 3 votes in the affirmative, this board has approved the paying of James Law McGraw-Hill bills. Please note that the chair abstained from voting on these items. Approved transfers and supplements? None? Okay. We are in old business. Everybody will note 12A has been tabled till the first regular meeting of December. For 12B, I think since it's been a little while, I move that this board go into for a brief executive session, subject 6-9A-4 under personnel, so that we may have a discussion with Superintendent Warble regarding superintendent goals.
Second.
Motion on the floor of the chair, second by Mr. McBride. This board go into executive session, subject 6-9A-4, to consider and discuss with the superintendent's goals. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstaining. I think it'd be easier if we just walk back to the back, because we won't be back there long. discussed with Superintendent Warble the 3 goals that he presented to us for his work for this year, and those goals will be considered, Superintendent Warble, when your evaluation is done. Okay. So, having done that, it's my understanding we now have better sound quality. Is that right, Mr. Lester? Okay, we knew you'd come through for us. We're going to play, because of the importance of it, the video from Talcott Elementary, which was student success stories on leadership. So we want to play that again so everybody gets a chance to hear it. So are we good to go? Okay, let's proceed.
Our Talcott Elementary leaders. Habit 1 is to be proactive. Be all responsible. Focus on solutions. Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. Always be prepared. Habit 3. The first things first. Work first, then pray. Habit 4. Think, learn. Blow out someone else's light to let yours shine. Habit 5. See first to understand, then to be understood. Listen before you talk. Habit 6. Synagogue. Live respectfully with others. Habit 7. Sharpen the saw. Take care of your mind, body, heart, and spirit. Living the 7 habits means we learn, commit, and do. We are all leaders of tomorrow.
Very good. Thanks.
Great.
That brings us to item 13, new business. Approved purchase of over 20,000.
Don't have any.
Approve agreement between BSN Sports Reward Program and Summers County High School, which is 13B. 13C, approve agreement between Summers County Health Science Education Program and Main Street Care. 13D, approve agreement between Summers County Health Science Education Program and the Summers County ARH. 13E, let's just stop right there. We have 13B, C, and D. Chair moves that we approve those.
Second.
Motion to report, chair second, Mr. McBride, that this board approve new business items 13B, C, and D. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Wait just a second. There's one on sports, I think, on the calendar here.
You talking about B,
Yeah.
the sports?
13B.
Yeah, basically the surrounding counties, I won't name specific counties because I don't want to get in other people's business, have all entered into this program with BSN Sports. Basically, it's like a consortium for athletic wear, and then you get like a rebate. So like when you buy into it, kind of reminds me of like Sam's Club. When you buy certain stuff, like last night our bill was whatever, and we had like $79 if we wanted to apply it now because we bought over the year. So what they do is they give you a discounted rate on athletic apparel, especially like tennis shoes and cleats and things of that nature. But when you flip through it, one thing you find out is there's nothing to join, like I mentioned Sam's Club. You have to pay into Sam's Club. With this one, it's just you buy stuff from this company with athletic equipment, which could be, you can see like Nike and Under Armour and other products there in the system. But what they do is they do it for all sports, and then what they help you with is to buy stuff at a discounted rate, but also when you buy into their program, they give you a total of how much you purchased. And then at the back here, I gotta find, oh, here it is on the second page. I don't think we're gonna get up to spending more than $35,000. That might be like a Raleigh County or a Kanawha County, some bigger county. But I think we'll fit closer to the $15,000 to $25,000 for all our sports. Could be higher than that, but it gives you a 5% off if you spend so much money. it only goes up 1% if you go up a little bit higher, but at least what they do is they give you discounted prices for all their stuff that they have out there. They also throw in a couple little items where they have a tablecloth for your school's name on it, and then they have like a branding enhancer. You know how they have signing days for colleges? Something like that is what they'll have at a table, and then behind you the school's name. And then they also have a Believe in You program. So talking to the coaches, athletic director, other counties around us have already signed this agreement. We are like a little fish by a big shark or whale. We're just getting the benefits of a company working with all these counties. This is nothing really new. It's just this county's never done it before. So we thought, let's give it a shot. We're already buying a lot of stuff anyway. Let's just make it a one-stop shop and work with them. There is nothing that we have to do other than say we agree to buy from them at a much discounted price. And that's all you have to do. We're not paying into anything.
The only problem I had was the last paragraph, last sentence,
Okay, where's that at?
on the last page.
Okay.
We don't make everybody aware of that, we may end up paying for something twice.
You talking about on this very last page? Or are you talking?
If Summers County High School chooses to use another vendor for the items listed above without allowing Varsity Brands first right of refusal, Varsity Brands reserves the right to invoice for all or a portion of realized products and services provided to Summers County High School.
Yeah, basically, you would go to this company and say, do you have this product? If they can't match the price of this other company, then I'm gonna go with that other company.
Right.
That's their fault.
Just so all the coaches are aware of that.
Oh, they are. I already have one who's really hoping we get this done sooner than later because, well, we're not in fall sports now. Let's just put it that way. We're going into winter and spring if we can still have those sports because right now with COVID uptick, I don't know what tomorrow brings with the governor. So we'll just leave it at that.
That was the only question
That's
I
good.
had.
That's a good question.
Any other questions or discussion on items 13, B, C, and D, which we have a motion to approve?
I make a motion we approve.
Chair seconds it. There is a motion on the floor. Mr. Angel, seconded by the chair. Point of order. The chair made a motion earlier,
We had a motion in a
Not
second.
seconded.
and Mr. McBride seconded, so point of order on that. There's a motion on the floor, the chair, seconded by Mr. McBride, that items 13, B, C, and D be approved. Again, any other discussion or questions? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, abstaining. Minutes reflect four votes affirmative, 13, B, C, and D were approved. That brings us down to 13E, approved policy placed on review, 8-N-3 requisitioning procedures policy. Mr. Warble, could you explain this to us?
Yeah, basically, you remember how this county, before I got here, had a review by the State Department in purchasing procedures. Basically, as you read through this, we have, the teacher must get requisitions through the principal. And we want them to start understanding that there's a chain of command, not only with evaluations and getting stuff done in a timely manner, but also purchasing. Nothing against teachers, but a lot of teachers, I know when I first started teaching, I had no idea that you're supposed to go get a requisition, you're supposed to get permission. A lot of times people think if I just buy it, I'll just get reimbursed. Well, you just bought it if you're gonna do that method. And what we're trying to do is train everybody to follow the procedures. But you can also see that each spring an allocation will be announced for each school year. And we want everybody to know how much money that they're gonna get for supplies. Because also, when I became a principal, I didn't always know exactly how much I was getting budgeted for. So as long as the principals know their budget and they can work with their staff, then they won't have to be told, well, I don't have any money, and I don't want the board or the central office to get blamed for saying, we were told no, we couldn't get it. And it's like, no, we're not telling you no, we're telling what you can have, and here's your allotted money, and now if you want it for your classroom and you think it's worthwhile, then run it through your principal, and you guys make that decision and vet it. I don't want to micromanage the buildings. The principals can do that with their staff. And then you can see by late fall, another allocation may be announced for equipment purchases. This again will be the discretion of the principal. The Board of Education and the central office here and my staff do not need to get into micromanaging that, spending their money. What we do is we allot money, and then they have a budget, and they need to stay within that budget. And that's all we're trying to do is clean that up and make that clear.
The chair moves that
Is there
this
anything else?
board approve placing on review policy 8-N-3 requisitioning procedures policy.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by the chair, second by Mrs. Farley, that this board approve placing on review policy 8-N-3 requisition procedures policy. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining. Let the minutes reflect by 4 votes in the affirmative, policy 8-N-3 has been placed on review. Let's go to 13F. Approve 2019-2020 outstanding invoices. Superintendent Ward.
I'm gonna yield to Dr. Knott so she can.
These were just a couple
Explain.
of occupational therapy and our CODA, which is an occupational therapy assistant, invoices. They were not given to me until the beginning of October, but they are from January and February, and then right after that is when closure happened. And the occupational therapist is only in the county a couple times a month anyway, and it just got missed.
So they just present them to you then?
Yes. They did provide the service, so I would like to pay them.
The chair moves that this board approve 2019-2020 outstanding invoices as described by Dr. Knott.
I'll second.
Motion by the chair, second by Mrs. Farley, this board approve 2019-2020 outstanding invoices as explained by Dr. Knott. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstaining, 4 votes in the affirmative, this board has approved 13F. Brings us to 13G, approve the work exploration program for the 2020-2021 school term. Superintendent Warble.
I can start, and then if Dr. Knott thinks I'm failing, she can jump in and save me. How's that sound? The Work Exploration Program, or WEP, is something with West Virginia, the state of West Virginia, and dealing with our special needs children at the secondary level. We have 2 parks here that we can use as a classroom. And part of that classroom is to develop skills in areas of career exploration, informed choice making, because when you're doing a job, sometimes you have to problem solve through those jobs. Self-determination and self-advocacy. I've had students tell me when I worked in another county, I hate this job with some expletives, but at least they let me know how they feel. But when they're working with their boss, like a superintendent at the state park, you can't explain yourself by saying you're upset. You have to find a way to let your boss know, I'm not happy, or I like my job and I'm happy with it. But what helps is builds resume, and it helps kids get an idea of what kind of work is out there. So like if you're at the park and you're working outside this time of year raking leaves or cleaning gutters or upkeeping the property, that's one job. Another is you're working in the food industry because it might have a restaurant at the park like Pipestem does. You might be working with the hotel where you're cleaning linens or being in charge of those items. So what we're trying to do is gain a deeper understanding of the targeted areas in the classroom by having it outside the traditional classroom but at the parks to transport kids there and get a good understanding of that. I can tell you in the county I worked in prior to this, we bought the kids Carhartt outfits because it's cold outside, and we had those kids compete against other, well, in the county I was before, there's 2 high schools, so they could compete. What we're doing is we're gonna compete against that county because they're coming to one of our parks and they use it already. So why not know your competition and have a sense of pride in your work and see what you can do as you learn on the job versus paper pencil sitting in the classroom all the time. Their classroom is outdoors. Would that be okay? Anything else?
Well, we're starting this year, this is our first year, we're starting with the parks. But we hope to have other locations too, the restaurants in town and different stores and just different places. And it is an extension of the classroom. It is not a field trip, it is a part of the class.
So it's like an internship.
Yeah.
How many hours a day will they have up there?
Right now, each group does 2 hours.
That doesn't include travel time?
We're trying not to include travel time now.
Thank you.
We will have those students and teacher, we will bring them in here to let you get informed how they're doing, and you can ask them questions, because that'll be part of our student success stories. Now, they might not feel successful. Like I said, there'll be a couple like, I don't like this. Okay, I didn't like my first job either. But having said that, at least they know what they don't like. So we'll get you updated as soon as we can.
On behalf of the board, we'd like to thank you and your staff for taking such an initiative. I date myself. 46 years ago, when I started teaching in Virginia, they had an old program called DECA, Distributed Education, in which kids from schools went out routinely and they worked and learned job programs in the community. And it was an excellent program, and this is something you all are modeling here, and it gives these kids real life experience outside the classroom, and that's an initiative the board has been looking for, and we appreciate that.
I think in the past they worked like at Pizza Hut or restaurants
Yeah.
like that. That's not off the table, but
Right
just
now.
doing something different right now, and then
Well,
we can expand that if
It can
we
expand
can.
and improve, but I feel this is great. Y'all have any points you want to bring up about it? Certainly do.
I was just saying, I think this is a fantastic program, and I will say this, I think that those that do work with the public, it will not only make them, better as an employee in the future, it will also make them better customers.
Yes.
Which a lot of them won't get that experience. I think this is a fantastic idea. I make a motion that we approve the work exploration program for the 2020-2021 school term.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion by Mrs. Farley, second by Mr. McBride, that this board approve item 13G under new business to approve the work exploration program for the 2021 school term. Any discussion? I think we've already had it. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed, abstaining, 4 votes in the affirmative. This board has approved item 13G, work exploration program for 2021 school term. Thank you. Okay, we'll now go to superintendent recommendations. If you will notice, and subject to Open Meetings Act, all of these positions and recommendations by the superintendent have been posted on our website to properly correct Superintendent Warble.
Yes, sir.
So because they've been out there, I think the board can consider these. We have personnel items, employment, professional. You see those before you, and everybody else has had a chance to see them. We turn to the second page, and notice we tabled some items. But then we have some remaining items in service personnel, 2 of them that we're considering. And then we have employment of coaches based upon superintendent recommendation. And then we have resignation retirement professional based upon superintendent recommendation. If there's no problems with those, we'll give everybody a chance to look at them again. Any questions by anybody before I put forth the motion?
These contract amounts are all the same as last year, correct?
Yes.
Any other questions?
You talking about with the sports?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think some of them you could see basically aren't working for much, but we appreciate them wanting to coach in our system, so I appreciate that.
Any other questions or points? The chair moves that under item 14, personnel items, that this board accept the recommendations of Superintendent Warble for employment, professional, retirements, and service personnel as listed on the agenda. Is there a second?
I'll say.
Motion on the floor of the chair, second by Mr. Angel, that this board approve superintendent recommendations previously read for personnel. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstained. 4 votes in the affirmative, this board has approved superintendent recommendations under item 14, personnel, including professional, service personnel, employment of coaches, as well as resignation retirements. Okay, that brings us forth to approve in and out of county requests. None. We have at this time superintendent's report.
I'll just give you a quick update with the LPN program. We posted it a 6th time. The posting came down on October 30th. Then we interviewed some applicants. We had some good applicants, and I think going to the evening hours really helped. It got us a few applicants that were really interested in it. Worked with a committee, and the committee recommended, you see down at the bottom there, Melissa Fox, pending all the credentials that needs to take place. And we're excited to work with her. She'll meet with me tomorrow afternoon. I want to put her in contact with some state people because the state has known that we've had an issue trying to hire this position, and we want this to be a successful program. Having said that, we had 14 or 15 students interested. You did approve some people being reimbursed tonight on their bills, or their with the bills to get reimbursed because they want to go somewhere else, and that's fine. Right now we have about 6, I would say 6 solid right now that want to go through the program, which is fine. Our neighboring county, Greenbrier, has 9, so it's not like we're too far off the ballpark. The problem is just trying to get this program up and running. So we're going to support Melissa, and we're just glad she's willing to jump in and help us out with this program. Worked with the hospital as well as a couple of our dignitaries, and we want to make sure we can get this going. Having said that, this program might not run 12 months now. It might run 18. We've started later, and the hours are a little bit different, but guys, sometimes you make better bad decisions. And I'm not saying this was a bad decision, it's just the way it is when you're trying to get someone who's qualified and has to do a lot of work coming into the program because all of our applicants didn't have a teaching certificate, so they have to go to Marshall to get their 6 classes. They also have to get accreditation. That's not going to be easy. They have to pass a NOCTI exam. I don't know what that stands for. Oh, I know they got to pass it. The good news is I'm going to turn this one over to Melissa because she said it best. She is very organized, has a type A personality, and can get it done. That's a nutshell of Melissa, but she's a go-getter, and we're pleased to have her on board for the LPN program. I have one other thing to bring up, but does anybody have any questions about the LPN before I turn it over to Dr. Knott real quick? Okay. Did I miss anything from the bean counter? No, we're good. Dr. Knott, I'm going to let you talk about a couple little items, and then that's all I have for my presentation. We'll keep it short and simple.
I just asked if we could do a couple little shout outs. One was to the cooks in this county. Because they're doing their normal ordering food and cooking, of course, but they are like, they have to change every other second, you know? I mean, things are just crazy right now. So they're ordering and they're fixing 1-day meals, 3-day meals, 5-day meals, but they're making breakfast and lunch every day. And they're ordering to pack food, but they're ordering also to serve food. And at the drop of a hat, they're ordering just to pack food, you know, and not serve it anymore. So, and they do all this without complaining, believe it or not, they have not. And making nutritious meals for the children of Summers County, because we're still in the summer feeding program, so it's not just students, it's children in Summers County that are benefiting from this. The other shout out I wanted to give was to the special ed teachers, because in a normal year, of course, they write IEPs, lots of them, and they even sometimes do a couple amendments. But because we wrote IEPs in the spring, and then we were option 1, 2, and 3 in the fall, there were all kinds of amendments they had to write. And then first 9 weeks, because people were bouncing in and out, they were writing more amendments because the First Amendment was different now for time spent with their teachers. They've had to write remote learning plans because in case we go on remote, which guess what, we just did, so they had to have those plans. And all while providing a continuum of services and really doing a fantastic job teaching students.
And that goes with the leadership of Dr. Knott as well, because you can hear emotions there. It's been draining on everybody, but the cooks haven't quit. I know they keep me fed. I know sometimes we get meals from Hinton area and it's like, this is great. They do a bang up job, so we really do appreciate them.
I think we all understand the extraordinary circumstance which is called a multitude of variations in jobs. Do something, you have to stop, you have to change it on the drop of a hat, and that's both for our cooks as well as for our special education teachers. So I would ask that the board join me in applauding the work and effort of those people, and we'd like to say thank you for that effort. And we appreciate it. Okay, thank you, Dr. Bob. Any other thing on the superintendent's report?
Just one other thing, you guys asked me to write thank yous to the Bobcat Connect, and those thank yous were put together and sent out to those 8 agencies that are helping us out with the Wi-Fi connectivity with Mr. Lester's leadership. So those letters have been written and sent out on behalf of the board when you asked me to do that, so that's done.
That's good.
Thank you.
And since we know who they are, you ought to take an opportunity to thank those community people for their assistance, because that's something we couldn't get done without their help, and they didn't have to do it.
Right.
So we want to make sure we tell them how much we appreciate that. We're item 17, discussion of next agenda. I think, I know Superintendent Warby, you have all the items that were tabled, and so you'll handle that. Does anyone else have any requests or anything that you'd like to see on the next agenda for consideration by this body?
I'd like to know what the status is on a miniature or small house. We got a $10,000 grant for that last year. I'd like to know if they're making any progress on it, if they tabled it, or what they're doing on it.
I'm assuming then you could present that in the superintendent's report next time or some presentation?
Yep.
Okay. Anyone else have a request or concern or something you'd like to see addressed in the next meeting? While we're talking about next meeting, I believe the next meeting is, regular board meeting is December 3rd at 6 p.m. in this building. And then the second meeting in December is December 12th
17th.
on a Thursday.
17th, isn't it? Or is it?
Okay,
It's
help me there.
17.
17th.
17th? Okay, so let me restate that. Was I correct? First meeting in December is December the 3rd, 6 p.m. in this building. The second meeting in December is December 17th, which is a Thursday, and that's at 6 p.m. as well.
Yes.
And is that all the items?
Yep.
Okay.
That'll hopefully wrap up 2020. Maybe 2021 will get better.
Let's hope.
Unless something comes up, we will not have another meeting in November.
That is correct.
Unless we'd have to call a special meeting.
But you do know that I don't know when Thanksgiving is. Multiple people have let me know it's not next week.
You know now, don't you?
Yeah,
The following week.
Yeah, thanks, Stan.
There you go. I want to make sure you understood that.
Oh, okay.
Before your check went out this month.
Duly noted.
Vice President Farley, you are on.
I make a motion we adjourn. The time is now 7:12.